Still my favorite teaser poster in the series. Happy Halloween. Hi. I made a Boba Fett throne in my garage to hand out candy on Halloween dressed as re-armored Boba. Just wanted to share. I painted Revan. Took me about 4 hours. Also, this is my kitty Potato. I don't get this scene. Was Dooku really about to rat out Palpatine? What if I told you that the Republic was now under the control of a Dark Lord of the Sith? I imagined Dooku thought he was using Sidious to achieve the means to an end. The end of the corrupted Jedi system, etc. He wanted Qui-Gon to join him and likely overthrow Sidious, but he died. He then wanted Obi-Wan because he knew how highly his own apprentice thought of him, and knew that he defeated Maul when Qui-Gon could not. I believe he did this in plain view of Palpatine under the guise of, if Obi-Wan turns to our side, he'll be a useful tool. Palpy either wasn't impressed with Obi-Wan or knew it wouldn't work out. It's also important to note that in Legends, Plagueis even regarded Dooku as a threat and sought to undermine him early on. Dooku was considered to be more powerful, in his prime, than a young Sidious. I have no doubt that someone so strong, at least when it came to dueling, and knowledgeable would have had their own ideology in mind that didn't really abide with the Sith nonsense. My basement decoration. I know it's been done before, but after 2 days of manually placing words, I had to share with people who might appreciate it. Lol. Here in Pittsburgh we have the soda machine time forgot. Battlefront 2 has the perfect depiction of Luke Skywalker. I know what the Empire's capable of. SK, but what else is there? A CHE better. I was really surprised by how well they did. I know who you are. Why did you help me? Quote. Because you asked. Quote. Just like perfect hero Luke Skywalker. Plus the lines of him telling the stormtroopers not to shoot and feeling bad that he has to fight back. Don't you guys think it's kind of weird how all the ships in Star Wars are all facing the same direction in outer space? How and why do all Star Wars ships face the same direction like this and don't go like this? The Empire has spent a lot of money on perfecting the dramatic entrance. Clearly the military values presentation and invests in such technology. Winking face. Nothing in TLJ is worse than, somehow, Palpatine returned. Seems recently that the pendulum is back on criticizing TLJ for its flawed scenes after the news that Rian Johnson is getting his sequel. I will remind you that Disney was the one that allowed for scenes like, somehow Palpatine returned, or the 2 fake-out deaths or the Scooby-Doo style mystery solving. I am excited for Rian Johnson to be given time and money to make his vision of a trilogy. Edit. I know the line is in Rose. That's the point. No TLJ scene is worse than that scene. I think the bullshit dagger is worse. Or the fact that 3PO can't translate the inscription. Is Krennic allowed to wear a cape because he is the Death Star director, or can any random Imperial officer slap on a cape and get away with it? I think in the new Thrawn books they indicated that the cape was a formal part of the uniform that Krennic and a few of his underlings wore out of vanity. My punk. Maul cosplay. I just realized something. In Rogue One, before Vader turns on his lightsaber in the hallway scene, the room is pitch black. Did Anakin and
Shouldn't
Quat
we be able to see
made
his
his
life
cape
support
billow with the
systems on?
Force while standing on
Did he
top
just
of his
shut them
TIE
up to make
fighter
an
that he
entrance?
also piloted with the Force and Quat Skywalker turn off his life support to be more intimidating? Yes, you'd think that Anakin and Quat lives on Mustafar, the place where he lost most of his limbs, best friend, and love of his life, and Quat Skywalker did exactly that. It's reasonable to assume that Anakin and Quat ordered his men to prepare an entire fancy dinner in Cloud City solely to make a dramatic entrance, and Quat Skywalker would do that. Anakin and Quat lives and breathes for hallway scenes and one-liners, and Quat Skywalker has a flair for theatrics, especially when they work. And Quat theatricality and deception are powerful agents. And Quat Qui-Gon Jinn. You know what the difference is between a villain and a supervillain? Presentation! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Can you imagine? And quat. Right, gotta turn off the LEDs on my chest. That way, when I turn on my lightsaber, I'll have maximum badassery and quat. Superbly written, believable acting, suspenseful. This is the Star Wars writing we were looking for. Enough to make a grown man cry. Bro, I saw this on a food truck the other day lol. Which droid would you take to infiltrate the Death Star if you could choose? Well, R2 has done it? Sue. K2SO. He's an Imperial KX series security droid. He will be the most inconspicuous, because he would look like he's supposed to be there. He can access all the necessary systems and is strong enough to make up for my lack of strength. Theoretically, what Jedi do you think Mondo could defeat with the Darksaber? My man sliced his own leg open, I'd wager 0 Jedi. With his skill and control over it? Maybe a youngling. I think he'd be a lot better matched against any Jedi if he didn't use the Darksaber currently. Hayden Christensen with his shiny new Saturn Award. Best Van Doors ever. The creators of Andor should be given the Thrawn trilogy. I am confident they will tell that story well. It's based on absolutely nothing, but I get the feeling when Andor is done Tony Gilroy will take a bow and never return. He clearly has a very strong vision and has not even wavered in quality storytelling for one moment. As much as I would kill for him to take a larger role, sometimes it's better to make one incredible piece, or two if you separate Rogue One, of art and let it speak for itself. Which is what Star Wars has been needing for quite some time now. The universe is built just tell good stories.